So nice to see so many familiar faces, of course, the students, but also the rest of the audience here. So for those of you in the room who are native Dutch, I have to tell you right now that you are not the average Dutch person. Because for the majority of the people in this country, the bike is a quite unremarkable and mundane object. Even more, riding a bicycle is also quite unremarkable, mundane. It's simply an everyday event, like brushing your teeth. But when you look closer, it's more than meets the eye. Because over time, habits and routines, they become so normal, so scripted in our brains, that we're no longer even aware of them. Like parking your bike. I know that each and every one of you probably has their own little system for parking your bike. You dismount in a certain way, you find your space that you like, you maybe even have a system for unraveling your chain and then locking it, and you put your key in a special place that you always put it. To an outsider, this series of events, this series of small behaviors, actually has to become learned over time. And even after 6 years, I feel myself as an outsider in this city because every day I am mesmerized by Amsterdam's rush hour. It's like a choreographed ballet, a perfectly timed dance routine. And when I look around, I'm definitely the only one taking a picture mid-intersection like this. But how did this all happen? How does it keep going? And also, why? If I told the average Dutch person that for the last 3 weeks, these 30 individuals from 19 different countries have been studying cycling in Amsterdam, they would probably look at me quite strange and just say, but why? And this is where PCCAMS started. That's our little nickname for planning the cycling city. We asked the question to this group, why do you study cycling? And what tied together all of the different perspectives and reasons was passion and a hope for a better future. A very deeply human response. And that is the essence of cycling. It's not only a very human activity, but it also brings out the human in us when we study it closely. And this optimism and mystery is something that is so wonderful, but it's also quite a challenge to be a curator and a teacher of this. So how do we design a curriculum where we impart knowledge about something that's so tangible and yet so abstract at the same time? What is the best way to learn about this? What do you teach? And how do you teach it? There are so many rabbit holes, so many topics, so many methods to do this, and Marco will tell you a bit more about that. But we still don't know the best combination, and we certainly don't have the answers or solutions.
Confusion.
It's the jam session.
It's confusion. We ordered some confusion, so there's some confusion, huh?
But what we do have is Amsterdam and other cities in the Netherlands. This group has used these cities as their game board for learning, for listening, for examining, for experiencing, and struggling. I've heard there was a bike stolen and a few flat tires, but the free beer and stroopwafels made up for that. So Amsterdam and other Dutch cities have a moral obligation to share this thing that they've created with others who want to learn. And I am amazed and very humbled that there are so many people who want to come and learn about this, to leave their homes for 3 weeks, to leave their cities, their families, their friends, all behind, and to experience something new. But there's something magical, it seems, that happens when people are taken out of their context and they're put into a new situation, a different place, a safe place to take risks and to enjoy themselves, to also build relationships and connect in new ways with other people who share the same passion and the same hopes and dreams. And you guys now join a worldwide network of now 90 PCC alum from over 30 countries. And we hope that you use this network to your advantage, to stay connected, to keep in touch, go visit each other. And we hope to hear about other summer schools that you'll be teaching next year. So tonight is the final test. In a strict Pecha format, where, hopefully if it works, each group has 20 slides with timed 20 seconds per slide. And using the concepts from the course, they will teach us and everyone here about what makes a cycling city tick. And finally, for a big surprise, after the program, we will experience together.
Are you going to tell her?
I am going to tell.
Oh my God, so exciting.
We experience yet another mode of transportation together in Amsterdam for our final group hugs and goodbyes and tears. And although it may be our last boat ride all together, I am confident that each and every one of you will be rocking many more boats for many more years to come. Thank you.
So now a little bit about how we teach. You know this guy? The famous Jaap van Zweden? He's our inspiration, as you can see.
No, you came one beat too early. You started one beat too early. You came on the 2, you have to come on 3. Ooh.
Later.
Yes. Where is the diminuendo you are playing? Where is that diminuendo, Richard? I told you already 5 times, no diminuendo here.
So this is how we teach. We are the experts, the students come to us. We are the country that knows it all. They listen to us, we talk to them, we say what they have to do and what they can't do. They learn and copy and go to all these places that you've seen before. Of course not. Our summer school is quite the opposite. It's a jam session, as you can now hear outside so nicely as part of this event. A jazz session where everybody brings their own instrument. Practitioners, students, activists from diverse domains and all walks of life. Together we did a 3-week-long jam session. And I want to name some of you. Jolijn, I think you're our trumpet player. Xavier, who's not here, I think he plays the contrabass. Nicolas, the flute. Marie-Therese is on piano. And Tom, you're on the drums. And you learned to carefully listen to each other. That's what a jam session is about. And to slowly craft a common musical masterpiece. And you all will witness that masterpiece this evening. So why do we do this? Why do we organize it in this way? I think it has to do with the paradox of cycling that we observe. We believe that it appears very simple and mundane, this idea of cycling, but there's not one simple model to understand all relevant elements of it. All models are wrong. It's all about creating cognitive flexibility that enables you to change perspectives all the time. It doesn't mean, by the way, that it's a chaotic, everything-goes environment of 3 weeks. We have carefully curated the learning experience. We involved our students through experience, assignments, readings, videos, and lectures. It all starts with this idea that a cycling city is not a city that is built in one day, and it cannot be reduced to a simple masterclass in which we just teach how this is done. Our jam sessions included history, sociology, cultural geography, social geography, bikes and trains, land use and mobility, governance, design standards, infrastructure networks, public space design, mathematics, economics, marketing, media management, imagining the future, cognitive psychology, and wayfinding. And in the last 3 weeks, to do this, we visited not only the university campus, which is located here, we also visited Mama Agatha. We visited the transport authority of our region, which was so kind to offer us their hospitality. We visited the Keuvel. We went to the startup village. We even went to Rotterdam. We went to the AMS Institute, Amsterdam Institute for Advanced Metropolitan Solutions. We went to Huis de Pinto. We went to the Free University, and we went to Cyclespace. We went to Urban Arrow. Mind you, this is all in 3 weeks. Huh? We went to Utrecht to visit the post-fossil city exhibit. We went to Utrecht Station. We went to Theehuis de Akermolen, and we cycled back today. And where are we today? We are here. We are in Pakhuis. So the themes that I think emerged in a jam session, so something you can't design up front, something that really came out of the group, is first this idea that it's okay to have plans, but what the Dutch history shows, it's also okay to be relaxed about plans and manuals. It's okay to sometimes deviate from them. Don't use the manuals too rigidly. Another thing we learned was, why can't we just cooperate better between, for instance, activist movements, social movements, and the government, with the example of the plunger bike path, or this bike path, where you, as a government, could actually help doing that on the right road in the right time. It was all about using the dominant frame better to sell the story of cycling, but also sometimes challenging this frame. And the challenges were twofold. One, cycling is deeply human, and humans are deeply social. So cycling is about social beings that like interaction. Our streets, therefore, are not traffic space, they are public space. And this is why we invited our keynote speaker this evening, Stephanie Hughes, who was so kind to come here and share her story. She is the founding director of Akka Architects, and she's going to take you on a tour, which hopefully also will touch upon her new book, Architecting Interaction. And I hope you will all enjoy it. But before we start that, there is a final warning. So this is the moment that you can still leave. After this...
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
He's not kidding.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Thank you very much.